isn't it? What day is it?
It's new bike day!
Hurrah!
So off today to pick up the new red GT Pro. It's brilliant. I think it's my dream bike. So welcome everybody to Red. So it's 2 years since I did my last bike review, and that was when I moved from my first big bike, my wonderful 700 BMW GS, up to my first Tiger, the 800. And it was a nervous start. I quickly felt the difference in extra weight to my cost. I dropped it a couple of times early on. But 2.5 years and 8,000 miles further on, and I love the bike. I love my 800. I love the extra power. I started to get used to the extra weight. I love the odd bits and pieces, the heated seats, the TFT screen that I hadn't had before, and loved the bike. Absolutely loved my 800 and couldn't recommend it more. So bearing in mind I loved it so much, why make the investment and change to the Tiger 900? If I'm honest, there wasn't a pressing reason for me to change the bike. More than happy on the 800 and done lots of miles and some fantastic trips on the bike. And then in the middle of last year, I think it was, we started to see adverts and social media talking about this 900 Tiger that had come out, this new Tiger 900 GT Pro particularly, we looked at reviews for. And the reviews were raving. They were saying it's fantastic. And, you know, I wondered, could it be that much better than the 800? there was one comment that seemed to be consistent. It seemed to feel like it had a lower centre of gravity. And that was really important to me. That had been the big thing from going from the 700 to the 800, was that high centre of gravity. That's really what encouraged me to go and take our first test ride on the bike.
And today we're going to go out and have a test ride of the new Triumph 900 GT Pro. But we're not going to buy one. We're just going to...
I'm just trying to convert him.
We're just going to test it. Sue loves a Tiger 800, but as and when we decide to change up, obviously we've got to check it out and see whether it's the right bike to do so.
I didn't expect it to feel that much different to the 800, if I'm really honest. I certainly didn't expect to be able to justify the investment it would take to make the change. But I can honestly say the instant I started to ride the 900, I felt a real difference.
I think it's a step up from the 800. I think the engine is fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I wish it was the red one. It felt more comfortable. I could certainly feel that lower centre of gravity that people had talked about, and just instantly felt more comfortable with it. It does have some extra bits, which are great. The TFT screen, in my opinion, is better. It's brilliant. You can certainly feel a little bit probably of extra power on acceleration. Does that matter to me? Not necessarily, but the thing that really sold me was how much more comfortable, how much safer, how much more in control I felt with the weight of the bike. And that was really important to me.
Energy.
I know I've said before that whatever bike you ride, if you get a new bike, for us it's really important to get out and go back to basics. Practice the U-turns, practice the curves, get used to the clutch control, and just get used to the weight of the bike, and that really pays off for me. My lovely new Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. So we've done about 250 miles so far. Now that they've lifted essential travel lockdown, we've been able to get out and do a few miles, and so far living up to expectation. When I moved from the 700 to the 800, there was clearly some significant differences because of the brand. There's not so many differences here, but there are some. So just like the 800, and essential for me, the seats are heated on the GT Pro. Unlike the 800, the rear seat, the pillion seat is heated as well. Last time, I learnt to my cost that the 700 was a lot lighter than the Tiger 800, and only had the bars fitted once I'd learnt that to my cost. So I actually ordered the extra bars. I think they look fantastic. I think in silver they look brilliant. What that means, of course, is that the spotlights aren't fitted to the chassis. They come and they're fitted to the bar. Spotlights are brilliant. One of the most significant differences is the TFT screen. And it's interesting reading some of the reviews online, because some of the Triumph owners feel that probably it's not quite so good as the 800. I actually think it's brilliant. I think it's a lot easier to see. It shows you the miles that you've done. There's a number of different choices when you're looking at the screen layout. This is my preferred screen. I like to know the distance. I like to know the duration that we've been out. And if you hold that in, it zeroes it. So I try and do that each time and remind myself how many miles that we've done. This is really useful. It enables you to consider the preload. Typically I leave it on the rider only. And this is the damping. This is what was recommended to me by the Triumph garage, and it's really comfortable for the riding that we do. Moving a little bit further on, it has the range there, so it tells you how much petrol you've got in terms of the range, the average and the current miles to the gallon. It also, unlike the 700, tells you what the tyre pressure is, and that's really useful to have. That wasn't on the 700 BMW and it wasn't on the 800 Tiger either. You can choose your resolution, you can put it on auto. I prefer it on low, it gives you a darker screen, and if you're into that sort of thing, you can also choose the colour. This tells you about the different styles. So if I just scroll through these for you, I have it on 4. That's 2, and that's 1. And that has the petrol gauge. So my preference is to have it on style 4 on that particular split screen. I find that really useful. I had the Triumph Garage swap over the sat nav for me, and also the heated jacket, the essentials again. The other thing that was really useful, I was a bit reluctant to change my top box. Triumph were able to change the plate so that I could keep my old top box as well. I remember saying last time, it's a great size, able to keep a full face helmet in it, so that's really useful along with all my other junk in there. It's been early days yet because of lockdown. We've not been able to get out and do that many miles. I think we've got 250 miles on the bike so far, and I'm really excited about going out and trying it more. So it's a gorgeous day. Essential travel restrictions have all been lifted, so we're off out to put a few miles on the new GT Pro. But from what I can feel so far, it feels fantastic. I didn't expect to use the quick shifter, but I do, and I think it's great to have.
It was clear that Sue was having far too much fun, so I thought it was about time that I gave the GT Pro a quick blast and entrusted Sue to look after my precious triple black. The bike was as good as I remembered from my initial test ride, with a grunty engine, great power delivery and a quick shifter that was smooth as silk. On the way back home, I spotted an empty car park, so not wishing to waste an opportunity, feel more in control, it's got great power. Just the most amazing bike. And that's not to take anything away from the 800, but if I compare the two, just for me, the edge that I have feeling safe is what's really important for me. And that was probably what the final decision was about. That, of course, and the fact that it's red, and I've always wanted a red bike.